Hello everyone, very good afternoon. Welcome to the another session of Deep Into DevOps. In this session, we're gonna use the CLI, the use of CLI, what actually the CLI means, and how it is used for automating the stuffs, why we have the necessity, if we have the management console. So all these questions will be answered in today's session. In yesterday's session, I hope you have liked about the video which I have posted for the creation of infrastructure using a cloud formation. CLI is very much important because in the upcoming session, we're going to use Terraform, and with command line interface, we're going to create the multiple infrastructure in a single command. Let me come back to my content session. And in this session, we're going to use AWS CLI. Will come to know about all the aspect of CLIs, how we can configure the AWS CLI with our with management console. What is the CLI? What are the key benefits, and how we can verify it that we have properly and successfully configured our AWS CLI with our management console. So we're gonna verify it till the end, and if you can see what basically the AWS CLI is. So in the diagram, you can see I have one more replicate diagram. You can see this is AWS GUI. GUI means the management console, which you see from your end whenever you sign in after doing the login and password. You see the AWS GUI. And in case you are still confused, I can showcase you the GUI, what actually I mean. So this is the AWS GUI, the interface which a user can see, which a normal person can see. Okay. And what this the CLI means is we should have one OS with the where we use the programmable language from where if we can create our CLI, we can create the console. That actually means the CLI means this is via user interface, but this you can use it by providing the command. That's a simple approach. Here we are creating the VPCs, EKS, and all those stuff with a manual by putting the information in the blocks, by putting the relevant informations about the networking and all those. Here we can do the same by putting all those information, relevant information by using the commands and the further code logics. So that the CLI. If we have that GUI approach, why basically one user should go for the CLI? So the main reason for using the CLI is if we want to create a single or short term, what I can say, a small amount of infrastructure, one VPC, one EC2, or one EKS cluster, then it's okay to go for the GUI approach. But if you have a multiple requirement of 50 EC2, if you need to create 20, 25 EC2, you need to create. You cannot do one by one creation, and it would take a long time, and it's not the main right practice I can say for the use for a DevOps engineer. So in that case, CLI is a best approach. We can just give the command and we can create as much as infrastructure we required, and as per our requirement, we can just modify it. Okay. Okay. So basically CLI is using all those creation of infrastructure, login to the infrastructure by using the commands. That's the main I can say about the CLI. Key benefit is as I explained, automation and scripting. Through scripting, we can use the automations as per the requirement, which we'll see in upcoming videos. And faster operation, definitely I can say in case of long term, in case of huge infrastructure, we can have a faster operation in the CLIs. Greater control, via command we can have there's a less chance to get error, and because we can the error can be highlighted as is easy, so it's a greater chance that we can have a control and less chance to get the error, and effective. So definitely in terms of cost optimization, CLI is the one. How it is, so we're gonna see this in upcoming session for sure. AWS CLI. Yeah. And the third part, the main part of our today's video is to configure this AWS management console. So we're gonna use this commands AWS CLI. First, we're gonna install it AWS CLI. Then we're gonna run the configure. We need to have this secret key ID, secret key reason, and output format. So what we're gonna do is in today's session, we're gonna first open the management console. We'll try to create one EC2 instance, Linux machine where we're gonna install the CLI, because that Linux machine will be our, what I can say, base will act as a management console, and that machine from we're gonna use install the in CLI, and then from where we're gonna configure the AWS, and we're gonna verify it that we have properly installed and configured the AWS successfully or not. I hope it may get clear. clear, do follow to my channel and Deep Into DevOps. And if not, definitely by seeing the demo, I think it can get more clear. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just following the step. Three steps are there, which is very simple because this is the simple way we are just creating, installing the CLI and configuring it, and by providing the access and secret access key, and just we are checking if we have done it in a proper way or not. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna open my console, and if you want any Linux or something machine, so definitely we need to create one EC2 instance. We need one OS, so we need to go for the EC2. Click on just a minute EC2, and then instances. Instances, one random instances is already running. Maybe I'm gonna terminate it because we're gonna create it from the scratch. So I'm just creating one instance in the fast. A launch instance, test CLI EC, right? AWS. This can be the random name which I'm just giving. We are using the Ubuntu 24.04 latest version, I can say. Here is a T2 micro. It's okay because we are just performing the installation of CLI, so it doesn't have any more requirement of the CPUs and any specific storage. So T2 micro is okay. It's a free tier, so you can prefer this only. Key pair, it's one of the important factor. I have told yesterday how to create a new key pair. You can just give your random name, not a random name, but a name which you can point it out later in case if you want to create more EC2 instance for the same purpose. So just give that name, a PEM file. Do not disturb the default configuration. Just click on create key pair. As of now, I have one with me, AWS CI, that's CLI. So I'm just using the existing one. VPC network which is there, I've just used the default one. I think you also have a default one, so don't need to make any changes on the networking and just use the just checkbox all the HTTP, although it's not required, but let us check it for some opening of some of the port. But it would be important when we are dealing with the high import, what I can say, CI/CD pipeline or high application or big application. Okay, 8 GB is okay, and one instance we are just creating. So click on launch instance. So here you can see one has been terminated, which was already existing, but the new one which I have just created you has been running. If you create on the ID, you can see the public address has been generated, private IP address generated. If you click on connect, so you can just click on connect by clicking connect over here. But what I gonna do is we're gonna connect to this a machine using the mobile stuff. It's one of the best terminal I can get for the smooth and for what I can say user-friendly interaction with the programming. So we're gonna use the mobile system. I already have. Okay, so this session has been deleted. I'll just delete the right session and we'll create a new session from the scratch. So click on instances, use the public IP, open mobile system. We are not doing anything else. Don't take like we are adding up any new step. It's just like we are opening the terminal in the mobile system rather than opening over in the console. Okay. Ubuntu PEM file, definitely the one which I already have. That's CLI PEM. That's okay. Click on accept. See, okay, we have just connected to the terminal and to our machine. You can now see the same IP address, 164. If you can check it on the 164. Okay. So we have just we haven't done anything in terms of CLI. We just have actually opened the OS, that server in the mobile stuff. We can also open it same from here as well. So it's easy to we can just connect it and the same terminal will be open like this only. But due to user friendly nature, we have just preferred the mobile stuff. Now our main purpose of the video will start. That is about the installation of the CLI. We can see installation of the CLI. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the document. But for that, whenever you create any OS or any server, just give this command apt get update what you're gonna do it actually update your operating system with the latest package and with latest version, latest package. It's good because if you want to install main in libraries or something, it's good to have the working in the latest one, latest version to get the documentation or the new updates. Okay, so it will not take much time. Just updating it. Let us clear it. So update has been done. Now we're gonna use the AWS refer to the AWS documentation. So in AWS CLI, you can just write it down install. You can see the installation or updating. In this document, you can see AWS. Here you can go, you have the multiple options in which machine you want to install, Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Ubuntu is a part of Linux only, so we're gonna click on Linux. And in the Linux, you can see the latest version of the command for the latest version. So we're gonna use this one, update your current installations. Yeah. It throws one error when we just directly pasting this command to here. The error will be a known error, I can say, and it will say that you need to install the unzip file. Let's check. See, known error has been come, so we need to install. We can use sudo apt install unzip. It's a very small package, but it's a prerequisite to install the CLI. Okay. Yeah. So just copy this command. Why I'm talking to refer to document. So in the latest AWS document, you can get up with the latest version because every time the versions change. Uh, Python is a prerequisite if you want to install the CLI. So Python versions and the CLI versions change, which we can check it. Like this is all had been installed. You can see all the important Route 53 part of networking and some of the important EVS, and this you can see as a various managed AWS services that has been configured in the CLI. So it is a part of becoming a console. Same, you can say that all the services that AWS uses were installed when we install the CLI. Yeah. Just clear it, and if you want to check it the version AWS hyphen version, you can check the latest version which has been configured. You can see AWS CLI is installed with the version of 2.31.10, and it I told that Python is a prerequisite, so the Python version with 3.13 has been released. It got changes time by time. You can later on, if you see after 3 to 4 months, you can check up like Python has the version of Python or the CLI has been updated to 3.14 or 2.32. So update, take the latest version only from the documentation and just use that command only with the latest version. Okay, so what we have done so far, so we have installed the AWS CLI. Second step is to configure the AWS, but before configuring the AWS we need to have this access key ID, secret access key ID, reason it or to format. So that we need to have. So where we can get the secret and access key ID? So if you come to over here and I go to my console. So this is my AWS console. This is my region. If I come to the security credential, so this is my security credential, and I can have that one existing AWS key. But in case if you want to configure it, you can have create the latest one because after a certain time that keys doesn't work. So create the if you already exist, so you can create at least two access keys. So if it's the old one, just delete the existing one and you can create the key. You can just click by delete. Okay, let me delete one existing one as it's not required. Deactivate and delete. Okay, I don't have any access key. Now we're gonna create access key. Basically, it recommend that you root user is not a best practice to go for the access key. We could use the IAM user and other stuff rules. So basically, it's asked for to go for the IAM user who can access key, but it's good as of now. We are just doing the minimal activities, so we can just click on the checkbox and proceed further. Our access key has been generated with the secret access key, although I'm going to delete it after the post this video, but as of now, yeah, this is our access key, secret access key. So how you can create it? By going into the security credentials of the management console. Now we can use the command AWS configure. It will ask for the access key ID. So now you have the access key ID. Access key is you can just copy it from here, right click, paste. Secret access key, copy it from here, right click, paste. Now it will ask for the default region. It's very important. So how to check the which default region you are in? So you need to go into the I can say open with a duplicate tab and go to the services. So here you can find it. Currently I'm in India, so I'm using the nearby location. So Mumbai location I prefer. So my default region is AP South 1. It write it as AP South 1. If you're using any other region, if you're North Virginia, you need to write US East 1, Ohio, so US East 2, according to your region, selected region, and where your instance has been deployed, you need to provide that region only. Output format, you can write JSON, or you can also write none. So, but that's enough. The important three credential has been provided above. So, yeah, that's all. So we have configured our AWS CLI with our management console. I click on clear. Now, how we can verify it? As per our documentation, it's okay. We have given all those information. So the step three, I think all the three steps which were required, we have just completed it. Now the fourth step is how to verify it. So verify it is a very easy task. You can give one command AWS S3 LS. AWS is our cloud provider. S3 definitely we are looking for the S3 bucket in our management console LS. Click. So you can find two bucket TF template, AP South one, and deep testing one. So can we verify it? Just go on your go on your console, click on S3, general purpose bucket. So you can see two buckets are there, deep testing and CF template AP South one. So CF template AP South one and deep testing CLI. The two bucket with already existing in our AWS console, as we can able to see it in our CLI, but it's actually fetching the live information. So we can just select it and delete one of the bucket which is not required. So just let us delete this one. And we're gonna see it again, like it if fetch the latest information or not. Okay, so now we can see we just have one existing only one bucket now, and that too is CF template. And if we again execute the same line, yeah, we can see only one. I can zoom it. We can just see only one bucket. And previously it was showing two, but it's not been one because one we have just now deleted. We can create the S3 bucket as well by using the CLI, but in that case, we need to install the Terraform. What we have seen yesterday, like we have seen the cloud formation where the YAML template we have created the S3 bucket. Same we can do by hashing of TF the Terraform. We can create the multiple infrastructure, whether it's the EC2 instances, VPC, EKS, S3 bucket, and etc. So this is the important part because CLI has been connected. On the next session, we'll definitely install the Terraform as well, and we're gonna create multiple infrastructure by using the Terraform commands. And you'll come to know about how we can create the VPCs, EKS, and multiple infrastructure using the Terraform. Okay, so you can now able to check list S3 bucket size. If it's successful, definitely your CLI is configured. So yeah, in the session, we have actually covered all the four aspects. What is CLI? What are the key benefits? Definitely, we have configured our management console with the Linux, which we have installed by instances, and we have verified by using the S3LS. We have checked with the latest update by deleting and fetching the information of the S3 buckets. So that's all about the AWS CLI. In case you like this video, you like my explanation, and even though I make video in Hindi as well, so you can prefer any of the languages. And if you're comfortable in English, do prefer in English. If you're comfortable in Hindi, I have a separate same video allocated for the CLI in Hindi as well, so you can prefer any one of the following. And in case you like my channel, definitely do subscribe to Deep Into DevOps in the YouTube channel. We're gonna see you again with the new topics and new tools, new technology. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice day.